My name is Jonas, and if you haven't figured it out yet, my family is, well, dysfunctional doesn't even begin to cover it. Sometimes, I wonder if you can even call them family at all. What do you call the people who brought you into the world, then practically abandoned you the moment they found a better version? For as long as I can remember, my parents, Patrick and Marin, treated me like background noise, all because my brother, Roman, was the healthier, adorable infant who instantly drew everyone's attention. I was the scrawny, average one, the kid nobody wanted to hold. And they let that dictate everything. Within a month of Roman's birth, he was their golden child, showered with praise and adoration, while I was relegated to the supporting role, standing in the shadows, utterly forgotten. My childhood was a special kind of hell. My parents only provided my basic needs, while Roman became a spoiled brat, letting all that attention go straight to his head. He was a huge, fat bully, constantly making my life miserable, throwing tantrums that ruined my plans, or simply taking anything I liked. It was a nightmare, and with biased parents always excusing his behavior, Roman grew up thinking he was king. My birthdays were formalities, my achievements never mattered. I was just a prop. I remember once in 3rd grade, I got all A's on my report card. I was so proud. I thought, finally, maybe a pat on the back, some recognition. But when I showed it to my mother, all she said was, "That's good," before launching into how Roman's wonky dog drawing had to go on the fridge. My straight A's? Straight into the garbage drawer, with all the other forgotten papers. I was that neglected report card. And it wasn't just small things. Roman decided everything. Where we went on family trips, what we ate for dinner, what we watched on TV. Every time I tried to pick something, I was shot down. Roman would rub it in my face, relishing in his power. He was the king, and I was just his servant. I desperately wanted to escape that hellhole, and when I got a scholarship to one of the world's finest, most prestigious institutions, a place that guaranteed a great career, I thought my chance had finally arrived. The catch? It was many states away. And of course, like everything else in my life, my parents refused to let me have it. The reason? Roman. They actually suggested I attend a local institution in our state, claiming it offered greater opportunities. But the real reason? They were worried Roman, who wasn't exactly academically gifted, might feel bad that I had the chance to go to such a prominent college while he didn't. Could you believe that? He could have worked for it like I did. But no, it was all about protecting Roman's fragile ego, keeping me from outshining him. They saw my potential, but chose to actively suppress it. Providing me with real support would jeopardize Roman's image as the golden child. But I wasn't going to succumb to that foolishness. Not anymore. I'd already sacrificed enough. So, I told my parents I'd only attend the local college if they let me live in the campus dorms. They agreed a little too happily, thinking they'd won. They had no idea. There was no chance in hell. I accepted the scholarship, moved to another state, and started my new life. While they thought I was down the road, I was actually at my dream university. The best part? This prestigious college offered my finance course in just 2 years, while the local one required 4. Perfect. It meant I'd graduate earlier than they could ever imagine. Honestly, it was the best decision I ever made. And if you're still with me, soaking up every twist and turn of this wild story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There are so many more unbelievable tales just waiting to be shared. Honestly, it was the best decision I ever made. Not only did I escape the suffocating hellhole my parents had created, but this college truly became my pinnacle of prosperity. Soon after graduating, I landed a 6-figure salary, and I'm now on the verge of a promotion. I did it all myself. The scholarship covered 70% of the fees, and the money my father kept sending, believing I was still at that local college, helped with other expenses. I never told him to stop. Call it terrible, but I considered it my retribution for years of neglect. For 3 years, communication with my family was minimal. A few checkup calls, 1 or 2 fake trips home for the holidays to keep them from getting suspicious. Other than that, they left me alone. Why would they care? They had their golden child. I was satisfied. It hurt sometimes, knowing they hadn't even noticed I'd moved states away. But that melancholy was always overshadowed by the immense relief of being free from their toxic presence. Truth be told, I missed the idea of a family, not that dysfunctional mess, but a family who actually cared. Despite my friends and my fulfilling life, something felt missing. Then, one morning, everything changed. My father called. Roman was getting married, and he needed me there, a few days before the wedding, to help with preparations. I was stunned. Was he actually asking me to come home? For a moment, a foolish, childish part of me was thrilled. He said I was part of the family, that he wanted everyone present for Roman's big day. I actually felt emotional. My parents had never truly acknowledged me, only cared about themselves and Roman. But now, my father specifically wanted me there. It was overwhelming, this sudden, unexpected validation. But then the cold, hard truth slammed into me. These were the same people who had ignored me my entire childhood. The same people who, even now, had no idea their eldest son lived states away, had graduated, and was making more money than they probably imagined. Did I really want to return to that, only to be disregarded again? To have my expectations shattered, just like always? I was in a real quandary. I missed the idea of a family, and it would be wonderful to have them care about me for once. But the thought of going back, only to have my hopes crushed again, terrified me. I needed time. 2 days, in fact, to truly consider it. And in the end, I decided to protect my peace. Even if some people disagreed, I wasn't accepting my father's invitation. And honestly, it felt like the best decision I've ever made. Spoiler alert, my parents hadn't changed, and they never would. I simply texted my father, "I won't be able to make it." No lengthy explanation, no excuses. I just wasn't coming. I expected a reaction, but not the sheer manipulation that followed. Within an hour, my phone exploded. First, my mother with the guilt trip. "Do you really want to miss Roman's special day?" she whined. "Do you want to be that brother? Roman will be so disappointed." She went on about how much it would mean to Roman if his older brother was there. Really? She even pulled out the "you only get one family" card. But here's the thing. Roman's big day meant absolutely nothing to me, because he had never, not once, cared about any of mine. And yes, you only get one family, but only if they behave like one. So, I told her the same thing. I wasn't coming. When guilt-tripping failed, my father tried his own bizarre tactics. He started calmly, spouting lines about how families stick together. When I still didn't budge, he played dirty. He called and threatened to stop paying my tuition if I didn't show up. He said they couldn't afford for people to gossip about one of their sons being absent from such an important event. It was all about appearances, as usual. Not about me, not about Roman, but about how the family was perceived. That's when I truly lost it. How incredibly selfish. Threatening my education, just so I could be a prop at a wedding? It was beyond foolish, especially since I didn't even need their money anymore. I told him, "Go ahead. Stop paying. I'm not coming to the wedding, and nothing you say or threaten will change that." I still hadn't told them I'd graduated a year ago, was living states away, earning a 6-figure salary, building a life they never could have provided. I didn't want them to know, not yet. I knew they'd try to ruin it. But right then, I was having fun. My refusal, despite his threats, enraged him. He went on about how ungrateful I was, how I'd always been difficult. He actually said he planned to withdraw my name from the local college to teach me a lesson. As if being pulled from a place I'd never even attended would somehow destroy me. He had no idea the truth was the exact opposite. Honestly, I couldn't stop laughing. I could have told him then, but where was the fun in that? I was just waiting for him to try and withdraw my name from a college where I was never enrolled. I was waiting for his reaction, for the moment he'd discover I no longer needed him, or his money. Oh, that was going to be shocking. And it was only a matter of time before my phone rang with another round of obscenities. I honestly couldn't wait. And just like that, the drama continued. It was only a day after my last update when my father's furious call came in. He wasted no time, demanding to know where I'd been all this time, and what the heck I'd been doing with his money. It was like watching a toddler throw a tantrum, only this time, it was my father, driven absolutely insane. Apparently, after our last chat, he'd actually gone to the local college. This is where things got really interesting. He went there, determined to withdraw my name, just to teach me a lesson. He was so utterly convinced that pulling me from college would force me to attend Roman's wedding. Clearly, he was wrong. So, imagine his face when the local college told him they had no record of my enrollment. It must have been quite the spectacle. My father, standing there, trying to cancel my registration for a Jonas who simply didn't exist in their system. The realization must have hit him like a physical blow. His bitterness, his momentary humiliation, was palpable in his voice. He kept demanding answers, but honestly, the whole situation was so absurd, I just couldn't stop laughing. After more harsh remarks and a good long wait on my part, I finally decided to drop the truth bomb. I told him. I'd graduated on a scholarship a year ago, and the money he'd been sending for my tuition had actually been incredibly helpful. Then I hit him with the bigger one. I now had a 6-figure salary, and I was making more than him. I could hear the disappointment in his voice when he asked if I was kidding, but he quickly realized it was no joke. The fact that I was no longer the struggling student he envisioned, but an independent man with a fulfilling, successful life, must have been a truly difficult pill for him to swallow. The moment he understood, he erupted. He accused me of treason for keeping them in the dark, going on and on about how much he'd done for me, only to be met with betrayal. Done so much for me? Was he talking about the years he and my mother ignored me, focusing entirely on their golden child? Then he came up with the most ridiculous idea yet. The only way he could forgive me was if I attended Roman's wedding and ensured there was no scandal or gossip about the family. I couldn't believe it. Even then, his image, his perception was all that mattered. I told him I didn't need his forgiveness, and I certainly wasn't going to be part of their charade, pretending we were one happy family. He tried to persuade me again, sounding frantic, but I held my ground. There was no way in hell I'd go to the wedding of the man who devastated my childhood. Not only that, but I told him I was done with the drama. I was cutting them off. My father was utterly shocked, but I didn't stay silent. I had spent my entire childhood absorbing everything in silence, but not anymore. I told him I didn't want any of them to contact me again. They could attend their golden son's wedding without me, while I enjoyed my life. He tried one last emotional plea, talking about how I was his kid, how I needed to attend. But I was finished. I simply told him he only had one son, since Roman was the one they all appeared to care about, and they could keep it that way. I was gladly cutting them off. I didn't even give him a chance to respond. I ended the call and blocked his number. And that's where I was then, officially cut off from their harmful presence. It was bittersweet, knowing things had come to this, but deeply satisfying. At least now I could live a calm life. Maybe even start my own family one day. It's been over a month since I shut off communication with my family. I thought I was finally free of the drama, but they clearly couldn't let go that easily. A few days ago, an unknown number popped up on my phone. It was my mother, sobbing uncontrollably. I'd blocked all their calls, so this one surprised me. I hesitated, but I didn't hang up immediately, fearing something truly terrible had happened. But it wasn't a tragedy she was reporting. She started going on about how much she missed me, how she just wanted her kid back. She claimed she didn't care what I or Dad had done. None of it mattered. She just wanted me to be part of the family again. I was utterly perplexed. Where was this energy when I told them I was cutting them off? They hadn't seemed to mind then. Now, suddenly, she wanted to patch things up? It smelled suspicious. So, I just hung up, telling her I'd call her later. I had a gut feeling something wasn't right, so I called my aunt, my mother's sister. What she told me was bizarre, and it confirmed every single one of my suspicions. Apparently, Roman's wedding was a complete fiasco, a massive storm. His seemingly beautiful fiancée turned out to be a full-fledged fraudster. Before the wedding, she'd convinced Roman, my parents, and a handful of other family members to sink all their savings into a dodgy, once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. And guess what? It was all a hoax. She took the money and vanished. No wedding, no fiancé, just gone, along with my family's entire life savings. But that wasn't the end of it. My aunt also told me my parents were in even deeper trouble. Apparently, my father had caused a disturbance with an employee, which led to a significant loss for his already dying firm. And then everything clicked into place. This was why he was so desperate for me to attend the wedding. He wanted to salvage his image, to put on a show of a treasured, perfect family. Of course, that plan had backfired spectacularly, and Roman's fiancé fiasco just piled on the bad news. They were losing money left and right. To make matters worse, they'd used their house as collateral for a loan, a last-ditch attempt to save the firm. That too had backfired. Now, they were likely going to lose their home. They'd been forced to move into a dilapidated trailer or a tiny studio apartment. That's all they could afford. Everything was crystal clear. My mother hadn't called because she missed me or genuinely wanted me back. They desperately needed me. They'd figured out I was doing well, and they wanted to use me as their safety net. I wasn't playing that game. I wasn't going to be dragged back into their mess, especially now that I had the full, ugly picture. They never cared about me when they were busy catering to Roman's every whim. And here's the twisted irony. My parents are now fighting constantly with Roman, blaming him for everything. the wedding fiasco, all the money they've lost. The golden child they built their entire lives around had ruined everything. And honestly, it made me happy to know they were finally facing their mistakes. But I truly couldn't care less. I was staying out of it. After my mother's call, I blocked her again. I wasn't going to let her manipulate my emotions. Did that stop them? Absolutely not. They became needy and clingy, refusing to accept that things weren't going their way. Eventually, my parents showed up at my house. Don't ask me how they got my address. I suspect they badgered some of my old friends, but it doesn't matter. What matters is they were at my door, lecturing me about family values and how, as their older son, I was their responsibility, and now somehow they were mine. I slammed the door in their faces. Of course, they begged me to help, claiming they were penniless and had spent their last money on a flight to meet me. That sucked for them, but I wasn't going to help. But wait, there's more. A few days later, Roman arrived at my home, practically crying and pleading for help. He said he missed having his big brother in his life. I'm not sure what big brother he was referring to, because all I remembered was him bullying me relentlessly. I warned him, but he kept begging, saying Mom and Dad were going to cut him off soon because they were so angry with him. It was all for nothing. Roman shared the same fate as my parents. I locked the door in his face, warning him that if any of them returned, I'd call the cops. Since then, I haven't heard from any of them. And honestly, I don't care. I am done with this toxic family. It's a little sad, I suppose, that things with my family came to this. The void they created will always be a part of me. But I am not taking their trash anymore, not just for the sake of family. I'm choosing my peace. I'm choosing me. So, tell me, if you were in my shoes after years of neglect and then this kind of desperate manipulation, what would you have done? Would you have helped them, or would you have slammed the door like I did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you all think.